What you are about to hear could completely change the way you think about food, health, and healing forever. Before we dive in, I want you to take a moment and think about how you felt when you woke up this morning. Were you energized? Were you clear-headed? Were you ready to take on the world? Or did you wake up feeling foggy, tired, bloated, and like your body was fighting against you instead of working with you? If you answered yes to that second part, then you are exactly where you need to be right now, and I promise you, by the time this speech is over, you're going to walk away with information that can genuinely transform your health from the inside out. My name is Dr. Mark, and I have spent years studying the relationship between what we eat and how our brains, guts, and bodies function at the deepest cellular level. I am not here to sell you on a magic pill or some complicated diet plan that requires you to throw out everything in your kitchen. I am here to talk to you about something far more powerful, far more accessible, and far more scientifically backed than anything you have probably ever tried before. I am here to talk to you about the foods that heal you from the inside out, the foods that your brain craves, that your gut desperately needs, and that your entire body has been designed to thrive on since the very beginning of human existence. Let me start with something that most people completely overlook. The human body is not a machine. It is a living, breathing, deeply interconnected ecosystem. Your brain is not separate from your gut. Your gut is not separate from your immune system. Your immune system is not separate from your mental health. Everything is connected in ways that science is only now beginning to fully understand. And the thread that runs through all of it, the invisible link that connects every organ, every system, every function in your body, is food. What you eat today is literally building the version of yourself you will be tomorrow. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every decision you make is influenced by the food you put into your body on a daily basis. Now, I want to talk about something that changed the way I look at human health forever, and that is the gut-brain connection. For a long time, scientists believed that the brain was the command center of the body. The brain gives orders, and the rest of the body follows. But research has completely turned that idea on its head. We now know that approximately 90% of the communication between your gut and your brain flows upward, from your gut to your brain, not the other way around. Your gut is not just a digestive organ. It is a second brain. It is lined with more than 100 million nerve cells. It produces more than 90% of your body's serotonin, which is the chemical responsible for your mood, your sleep, your appetite, and your overall sense of well-being. Think about that for a moment. 90% of the chemical that makes you feel happy, calm, and balanced is made in your gut, not in your brain. So when your gut is unhealthy, everything suffers. Your mood crashes, your brain becomes foggy, your energy disappears, your immune system weakens, your sleep deteriorates. And before long, you are walking around feeling like a shadow of the person you used to be, wondering why nothing seems to be working no matter how hard you try. But here is the incredible news. You can heal your gut, you can restore your brain, you can rebuild your body, and you can do all of it with food. Let us talk about the first category of foods that you need to be eating every single day, and these are fermented foods. Fermented foods are among the most powerful healing substances on Earth. They have been used by virtually every culture throughout human history for thousands of years, and modern science is now confirming what our ancestors intuitively knew. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, tempeh, and kombucha are packed with living beneficial bacteria known as probiotics. These probiotics travel through your digestive system and take up residence in your gut, where they perform an extraordinary range of functions. They help digest your food more efficiently. They produce vitamins like B12 and vitamin K. They train your immune system to distinguish between friend and foe. They break down toxins and harmful compounds before they can damage your cells. And critically, they communicate directly with your brain through the vagus nerve, influencing your mood, your stress response, your cognitive function, and even your risk of depression and anxiety. Studies have shown that people who regularly consume fermented foods have lower levels of inflammation throughout their bodies, stronger immune systems, better mental health outcomes, and a significantly reduced risk of chronic disease. One fascinating study found that participants who ate fermented foods every day for just 10 weeks showed measurable improvements in their gut microbiome diversity, reduced inflammatory markers, and reported significant improvements in mood and mental clarity. 10 weeks. That is less than 3 months to begin transforming your brain and body simply by eating the right foods every single day. Now let us talk about omega-3 fatty acids, because this is something that your brain is absolutely desperate for. Your brain is composed of approximately 60% fat, and a significant portion of that fat is omega-3 fatty acids, specifically a type called DHA, or docosahexaenoic acid. DHA is the structural building block of your brain cells. It makes up the membranes of your neurons, keeps those membranes flexible and fluid so that signals can pass between brain cells efficiently, and plays a critical role in the growth and repair of brain tissue throughout your entire life. Without adequate DHA, your brain cells become rigid. They communicate poorly. Your thinking slows down. Your memory deteriorates. Your risk of cognitive decline and neurodegenerative conditions increases dramatically. The richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids are fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, and anchovies. These fish contain both DHA and EPA, another type of omega-3 that has powerful anti-inflammatory effects throughout the body. Inflammation is one of the primary drivers of virtually every chronic disease known to medicine, including heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, depression, and cancer. When you eat fatty fish regularly, you are flooding your body with natural anti-inflammatory compounds that protect every organ, every tissue, and every cell you have. If you're not a fish eater, plant-based sources of omega-3s include flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and walnuts. While these contain a form of omega-3 called ALA that needs to be converted to DHA and EPA in the body, they are still enormously beneficial and should be part of your daily diet. I want to take a moment to talk about something that I believe is one of the most underappreciated health crises of our time, and that is chronic inflammation. You have probably heard the word inflammation before, and you might associate it with swelling after an injury or redness around a wound. But there is another type of inflammation that is far more dangerous because you cannot see it or feel it directly. It is called chronic low-grade inflammation, and it is silently destroying people's health every single day. Chronic inflammation is driven primarily by the foods we eat. Processed foods, refined sugars, industrial seed oils, artificial additives, and excessive alcohol all trigger inflammatory responses in the body that never fully resolve. Instead, they smolder in the background like a slow-burning fire, gradually damaging your cells, your blood vessels, your brain tissue, and your organs over years and decades. The antidote to this invisible threat is found in the foods I'm describing to you today. Anti-inflammatory foods do not just prevent damage, they actively repair it. They turn down the inflammatory signals in your body, they protect your DNA from oxidative stress, and they create an internal environment in which healing becomes possible. Every meal you eat is either feeding inflammation or fighting it. There is no neutral ground when it comes to food. Let us talk about leafy green vegetables because these are perhaps the single most important food group you can incorporate into your daily diet. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, collard greens, and romaine lettuce are nutritional powerhouses in a way that simply cannot be overstated. They are loaded with folate, vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin E, magnesium, iron, calcium, and a broad spectrum of phytonutrients including carotenoids, flavonoids, and glucosinolates, all of which have documented protective effects against cancer, heart disease, cognitive decline, and metabolic dysfunction. One of the most remarkable nutrients in leafy greens is folate, also known as vitamin B9. Folate is absolutely essential for the production and maintenance of new cells, for DNA synthesis and repair, and critically for brain function. Low folate levels have been strongly linked to depression, cognitive impairment, and elevated homocysteine levels, which is an amino acid that at high concentrations damages blood vessels and brain tissue. Research has consistently shown that people who eat the most leafy greens have significantly slower rates of cognitive decline as they age, with some studies suggesting that eating just one serving of leafy greens per day can make your brain function as if it were 11 years younger. Let me say that again. One serving of leafy greens per day can make your brain function as if it were 11 years younger. That is not a supplement. That is not a medication. That is food. Now I want to talk about the power of berries because these tiny, beautiful fruits are among the most brain-protective foods on the planet. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and cherries are all packed with compounds called anthocyanins, which are the pigments that give these fruits their deep, vibrant colors. Anthocyanins cross the blood-brain barrier, which is the protective shield that separates your brain from your bloodstream, and they exert powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects directly within brain tissue. They protect neurons from oxidative damage, promote the growth of new neural connections, improve communication between brain cells, and have been shown in multiple studies to enhance memory, learning, and cognitive processing speed. Berries also contain a compound called pterostilbene, which activates a biological pathway called the SIRT1 pathway, sometimes referred to as the longevity pathway. Activating this pathway essentially switches on your body's natural repair mechanisms, telling your cells to clean up damaged components, repair DNA, and function more efficiently. This is the same pathway that is activated by caloric restriction and intermittent fasting, but you can trigger it simply by eating berries every day. The research on berries and brain health is so compelling that neuroscientists are now describing blueberries in particular as one of the most promising dietary interventions for the prevention of Alzheimer's disease and age-related cognitive decline ever studied. Let us shift our focus now to something that I know many people have questions and concerns about, and that is the role of fiber in health. Dietary fiber is not glamorous. It does not have the marketing power of superfoods or exotic supplements. But I am going to argue to you today that fiber is one of the most transformative substances you can put into your body, and that most people are severely deficient in it. The recommended daily intake of fiber for adults is between 25 and 38 grams per day. The average person in the modern world consumes somewhere between 10 and 15 grams. That deficit is catastrophic for your health. Fiber comes in two forms, soluble and insoluble, and you need both. Soluble fiber, found in oats, beans, lentils, apples, and flax seeds, dissolves in water to form a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. This gel slows down digestion, preventing blood sugar spikes, reducing cholesterol absorption, and feeding beneficial bacteria in your gut. Insoluble fiber, found in whole grains, vegetables, and nuts, adds bulk to your stool, keeps things moving through your digestive system efficiently, and prevents constipation and the accumulation of toxins in your colon. But the most exciting research on fiber has to do with something called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. When your gut bacteria ferment dietary fiber, they produce SCFAs, including butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These compounds are fuel for the cells lining your colon, protecting them from damage and inflammation. But butyrate in particular does something extraordinary. It crosses the blood-brain barrier and has profound neuroprotective effects, reducing neuroinflammation, supporting the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which is sometimes called fertilizer for the brain because it promotes the growth and maintenance of neurons, and even influencing mood and behavior through its effects on the gut-brain axis. When you eat more fiber, you are not just improving your digestion. You are feeding your brain, you are protecting your neurons. You are literally growing new brain cells by eating beans and vegetables and whole grains every day. The implications of this are staggering, and yet most people have never heard it explained this way. I want to talk now about one of my personal favorites, and that is extra virgin olive oil. This golden liquid has been at the heart of the Mediterranean diet for thousands of years, and it is one of the most comprehensively studied foods in the entire history of nutritional science. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, particularly oleic acid, which has been shown to reduce inflammation, protect against oxidative stress, and improve the function of cell membranes throughout the body. But the real magic of extra virgin olive oil lies in its phenolic compounds, particularly a molecule called oleocanthal. Oleocanthal is a natural compound that has been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects comparable to ibuprofen, but without the side effects. It works by inhibiting the same inflammatory enzymes that ibuprofen targets, COX-1 and COX-2, but does so through a natural, food-based mechanism that your body recognizes and tolerates perfectly. Beyond its anti-inflammatory properties, oleocanthal has been shown to stimulate the production of proteins that clear amyloid plaques from the brain. Amyloid plaques are the abnormal protein clusters that accumulate in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease and are believed to be a primary cause of the neuronal death and cognitive decline associated with the condition. Research has shown that oleocanthal enhances the production of enzymes that break down and clear these plaques, suggesting that regular consumption of extra virgin olive oil may actively protect against Alzheimer's disease. This is not theoretical. This is research published in peer-reviewed scientific journals, and it is one of the most exciting findings in the field of nutritional neuroscience in recent years. Now let us talk about something that many people are afraid of, and that is eggs. Eggs have had a difficult few decades in the world of nutrition advice. They were vilified for their cholesterol content, blamed for heart disease, and excluded from countless diet plans. But the science has evolved dramatically, and what we now know about eggs paints a very different picture. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods on Earth. A single whole egg contains 13 essential vitamins and minerals, high-quality complete protein, healthy fats, and a collection of bioactive compounds that are genuinely remarkable. Most importantly for our discussion today, eggs are one of the richest dietary sources of choline, a nutrient that is absolutely critical for brain health and yet chronically underconsumed by the vast majority of people. Choline is the precursor to acetylcholine, which is one of the most important neurotransmitters in your brain. Acetylcholine is essential for memory formation, learning, attention, and muscle control. People with Alzheimer's disease have severely depleted levels of acetylcholine in their brains, which is why so many Alzheimer's medications work by trying to preserve whatever acetylcholine remains. When you eat eggs, you are providing your brain with the raw material it needs to produce this critical neurotransmitter. Studies have shown that higher choline intake is associated with better cognitive performance, improved memory, and reduced risk of cognitive decline. Eggs are also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that protect the eyes and the brain from oxidative damage, and they contain B vitamins including B12 and B2 that are essential for energy production and neurological function. Let us now take some time to discuss the incredible importance of turmeric and its active compound curcumin. Turmeric is a bright yellow spice that has been used in Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine for over 4,000 years, and modern science is confirming that the ancients were onto something extraordinary. Curcumin, the primary bioactive compound in turmeric, is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds ever identified. It simultaneously inhibits multiple inflammatory pathways in the body, scavenges free radicals that damage cells and DNA, and modulates the expression of hundreds of different genes involved in inflammation, cell growth, and cell death. For brain health specifically, curcumin has been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and exert direct neuroprotective effects. It stimulates the production of BDNF, the brain growth factor I mentioned earlier, which helps new neurons grow and existing neurons survive. Low levels of BDNF are associated with depression, anxiety, and neurodegenerative disease, and several studies have found that curcumin supplementation raises BDNF levels significantly. Curcumin has also been shown to bind directly to amyloid plaques and tau tangles, the two pathological hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease, potentially disrupting their formation and promoting their clearance. Epidemiological data from countries where turmeric consumption is high, such as India, show dramatically lower rates of Alzheimer's disease compared to Western countries, and while many factors contribute to this difference, researchers believe that dietary turmeric is a significant one. One important note about turmeric: curcumin has poor bioavailability on its own, meaning your body struggles to absorb it efficiently. However, combining turmeric with black pepper dramatically increases curcumin absorption because black pepper contains a compound called piperine that inhibits the enzymes that break down curcumin before it can be absorbed. Adding a pinch of black pepper to any dish containing turmeric can increase curcumin bioavailability by up to 2,000%. That is a simple, cost-free upgrade that makes an enormous difference. I want to spend some time now talking about nuts and seeds because these are foods that are deeply undervalued in most people's daily diets. Walnuts in particular deserve special attention for their brain health benefits. Walnuts are the only tree nut that contains a significant amount of ALA, the plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. They are also rich in vitamin E, folate, melatonin, and polyphenols, all of which have documented neuroprotective effects. The shape of a walnut, which resembles a human brain with its two hemispheres and wrinkled surface, is often cited as a charming coincidence, but perhaps nature was giving us a hint all along. Research has shown that walnut consumption is associated with better cognitive performance, improved memory, faster processing speed, and greater mental flexibility. In animal studies, walnut-enriched diets have been shown to reverse some of the brain changes associated with aging and cognitive decline. Almonds, cashews, Brazil nuts, and pecans each bring their own unique nutritional profiles to the table, providing healthy fats, protein, magnesium, selenium, zinc, and a variety of phytonutrients that support everything from hormonal balance to cardiovascular health to immune function. Seeds deserve equal mention. Flax seeds and chia seeds are extraordinary sources of omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and lignans, which are compounds with potent antioxidant and hormone balancing properties. Pumpkin seeds are among the richest plant-based sources of zinc, which is essential for brain function, immune health, and wound healing. Sunflower seeds are packed with vitamin E, which protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. Hemp seeds provide a complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids, making them particularly valuable for people following plant-based diets. Now I want to talk about something that might surprise you, and that is the healing power of bone broth. Bone broth has experienced a massive resurgence in popularity over the last decade, and for very good reason. When you simmer animal bones for an extended period of time, you extract a remarkable collection of nutrients including collagen, gelatin, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, glucosamine, chondroitin, and a broad spectrum of minerals in highly bioavailable forms. These compounds have profound effects on your gut health, your joint health, your skin, and even your brain. Gelatin and glycine are particularly important for gut health. The lining of your gut is just one cell layer thick, and it is constantly being repaired and regenerated. When this lining is damaged by stress, poor diet, alcohol, medications, or infections, it becomes permeable, allowing partially digested food particles, bacteria, and toxins to leak through into the bloodstream. This condition, commonly known as leaky gut, triggers systemic inflammation and has been linked to a wide range of conditions including autoimmune diseases, allergies, depression, anxiety, skin conditions, and hormonal imbalances. Glycine, found abundantly in bone broth, has been shown to strengthen tight junctions between gut cells, reducing permeability and helping to heal the gut lining. Glycine is also a precursor to glutathione, which is the most powerful antioxidant produced by your own body, essential for detoxification and immune defense. Let us talk about green tea because this is a beverage that has accumulated one of the most impressive bodies of scientific research of any food or drink in the world. Green tea contains a unique amino acid called L-theanine, which is found almost exclusively in the tea plant. L-theanine has the remarkable ability to cross the blood-brain barrier and promote alpha brainwaves, which are associated with a state of calm, focused alertness. It is sometimes described as producing a state of relaxed focus, which is quite different from the jittery stimulation associated with caffeine alone. When L-theanine and caffeine are combined, as they are naturally in green tea, they produce a synergistic effect on cognitive performance that is superior to either compound alone. Studies have shown that this combination improves attention, reaction time, working memory, and creative problem solving in ways that neither caffeine nor L-theanine achieves independently. Green tea is also extraordinarily rich in catechins, a type of antioxidant polyphenol, the most potent of which is a compound called epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG. EGCG has been shown to have anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, and metabolic benefits. It activates the SIRT1 longevity pathway, inhibits the formation of amyloid plaques in the brain, protects neurons from oxidative damage, and improves the function of blood vessels throughout the body. Population studies consistently show that regular green tea drinkers have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and several forms of cancer compared to non-drinkers. Before I close, I want to bring all of this together with a message about consistency. The foods I have described today are not cure-alls. They are not miracle workers that will produce overnight results, but they are the foundation of a healing diet, a way of eating that works with your biology rather than against it, that nourishes your brain, rebuilds your gut, and restores your body to the state of vitality it was designed to maintain. The key to experiencing the full benefits of these foods is consistency. Eating salmon once a month will not transform your brain. Eating berries occasionally will not rebuild your microbiome, but making these foods a regular, daily part of your life, creating habits and rituals around nourishing yourself properly, that is where the magic happens. That is where the transformation occurs. Think of every meal as a vote for the kind of health you want to have. Every time you choose a handful of blueberries instead of a processed snack, you are voting for a sharper mind. Every time you add leafy greens to your plate, you are voting for a slower rate of cognitive aging. Every time you drizzle extra virgin olive oil over your vegetables, you are voting for lower inflammation and a protected brain. Every time you include fermented foods in your diet, you are voting for a healthier gut and a happier mood. These choices accumulate over time into a completely different biology, a biology that is more resilient, more energized, more balanced, and more capable of healing itself from whatever challenges life brings. The relationship between food and health is the most fundamental truth in all of medicine. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, said it more than 2,000 years ago. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. We have spent the last century moving away from that wisdom, replacing real food with processed products, filling our plates with substances that our bodies do not recognize and cannot properly use, and wondering why chronic disease is at epidemic levels despite all of our medical advances. The answer has been sitting on our plates all along. You have the power to change your health, not next year, not after the holidays, not when things settle down, now, today, at your very next meal. The brain you want, the gut you need, the body you deserve are all available to you through the extraordinary healing power of food. Start small if you need to. Add 1 serving of leafy greens today. Swap your afternoon snack for a handful of walnuts and berries. Try a cup of green tea in the morning. Make a simple meal with salmon and vegetables drizzled with olive oil and seasoned with turmeric and black pepper. Each step, no matter how small, is moving you in the right direction. Each meal is an opportunity to heal. Your body wants to be healthy. It is fighting for you every single second of every single day. Give it the tools it needs. Feed it the foods it was designed to thrive on. Respect the extraordinary intelligence of your gut-brain connection. Honor the miracle of your own biology by nourishing it with real, whole, living foods that carry the healing power of nature itself. Because you deserve to feel well. You deserve to think clearly. You deserve to wake up every morning energized, focused, and ready to live your best possible life. And it all starts with what you eat every single day. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this has given you not just information, but inspiration. The inspiration to make one better choice today, and then another tomorrow, and then another the day after that, until those choices become habits, and those habits become your health, and that health becomes the foundation of a life that is truly worth living. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, healing begins on your plate. Thank you for watching Dr. Mark Official, and I hope this helped you take one more step toward better health and balance. Stay safe, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video.